We will cover 3 different Spellbinder builds that we can use to go from New Game Plus to even beyond New Game Plus 10. We have a defensive build, an offensive build with its variations, and a build in the middle ground of defense and offense. Spellbinder is technically also a spell that locks us out of using any other spell, transformation, or vessel. However, in return, we gain a massive boost in damage from the maximum mana that we have, and we gain additional critical hit chance from the maximum stamina that we have. With Spellbinder, we hit the bosses very hard. The first build is a damage reduction defensive Spellbinder build, which is very good to use up to NG plus 4. This build is really for beginners when we are not very familiar with the boss's moves. We use Dark Iron Staff, Wind Tamer to give 2% damage reduction, and the Earth Rakshasa Spirit to give us damage reduction while being hit. We use the full set of Wukong armor sets to give us a lot of damage because we're using Dark Iron Staff, and we also get Tenacity while we cannot be interrupted while we are hitting. For the curious, we use Jade Moon Rabbit together with Golden Sun Crawl to give us a lot of damage and also damage reduction. We use Bosun Sensor, Gold Spectre Plates, and White Seashell with the Chain. For the last one, we can also use Cat Eye Beads to increase critical hit chance, Tiger Teddy to increase attack after the light attack combo, maybe also Gold Button, and it's really up to our own choice. We use Qingtian Gourd to trigger the buff from the Bosun Sensor Courier, and we use Dry Spirit as our drink and 2 L'Oreal Buds to further increase our damage reduction in our soaks. Damage reduction will allow us to make a lot of mistakes without dying. Survivability will let us win the fight eventually. The second build is a full damage output Spellbinder build, which gives us a ton of damage. The build is very good for NG plus 5 and beyond games to chop down the boss's HP very fast. We use Dark Iron Staff, River's Needle, Non-Able Spirits, and here we're using the Wukong original armor set. So this will give us a lot of defense at this level 342, which will translate to the damage increase in Dark Iron Staff. They work really well together. As we already have a lot of critical chance as a Spellbinder build, we basically put 3 Beast Buddhas here to increase our critical hit damage. And we use Gold Spike Plates to increase our defense and further translate that into our attack. For the last one, we can use Gold Button or any of other materials of our choices. And for the gourd, we'll use Supreme Gourd to have 10 sips. And in the gourd, we're using Non-Bong Drink to further increase our damage. And for soaks, we have a 1-in Willow Leaf. And for the rest of the 3, I'm using Steel Jensen Soak here to increase a moderate amount of focus, which can help us to gain focus really fast and be able to do heavy attacks on the bosses in a very fast manner. And if you really want, we can replace 3 of the Steel Jensen Soaks here with the Tiger Relic, which with each one of them increase 5% of the critical hit chance. To play this build well, we will need to have some knowledge about the boss moves and be able to dodge a little bit. For example, using this build to fight the Duskville boss in NG plus 5 and beyond is just a breeze. If we're really good at dodging the boss's attacks, we can actually replace the armor set into a full set of Yaksha armor set. So this will give us less damage reduction, but a 20% damage increase. So this is very strong, and this build becomes a Yaksha Spellbinder build, which is really strong. For the full damage output Spellbinder build, we can actually change our staff to adapt the Spine Shooting Fullband staff, which offers base 25% critical hit chance. For the rest of the setup, we're using Centipede Helmet, Centipede Armor, Venomous Arm Guard gloves, and the Centipede Greaves. With all of this setting, we're going to basically reduce the damage we're taking when we're poisoned and also significantly increase our attack while we're being poisoned. We can actually change our soaks to use 1 of the Death Stinger and 3 of the Tiger Relic soaks. You can see we're dealing actually a lot of damage, and we can get up to more than 100% critical chance and 219 critical hit damage. So this will be really great for the damage output because every hit will be a critical hit. But the downside is that we're getting probably a tick to lose 4 HP continuously while we're being poisoned. But this is really the pretty less downside of it. The third build is in the middle ground between damage and damage reduction because we combine what we used in the first 2 builds together. I used this build to defeat the Great Siege of Broken Shell in NG plus 14. We used Dark Iron Staff, River's Needle, Non-Able Spirit, See No Evil Helmet to let us to do more perfect dodges, and Yin Yang Taoist Rob to give us 20% more damage reduction. And we use Bookings, Bracers, and also Bookings Griffs. For the Curious, we use Jade Moon Rabbit, Gold Sun Crow, Ocean Sensor, Ember Prayer Beads. And for the last one, we can choose from Gold Button, White Seashell Raised Chair, and a Gold Spike Plate, or even more critical hit damage, or even critical hit chance. It's really up to us. For the gourd, I'm using the Chintian gourd because we can deplete the gourd to get the damage reduction buff from Boss and Sensor. For the drink, I'm using Dry Spirit drink and 2 L'Oreal buds in the soaks to give more damage reduction. The build allows us to do more perfect dodges which recover our focus and deal a small amount of damage with the shadow left behind. In higher NG plus games, every bit of damage adds up to our final win. In the end, which build to use is really up to the style you would like to play and the skills that you are at. I will leave my full fight with the Great Siege's Broken Shell in NG plus 14 to you. My style is not that aggressive and I'm not familiar with all of his moves, so I run around quite a bit. Peter Wind from the chat named this build as the Forest Gump build, which is quite right and fun. Enjoy the rest of the fight and hope this guide helped you in some way. Please like, comment and subscribe to help the channel. Hope to see you soon.